What is up, y'all? Double T here, back with another video. Thank you guys for checking this one out. Hope you guys are doing amazing. And first off, I want to say thank you guys so much for the support on my last few videos. They've been doing pretty well performance-wise, and I really appreciate it. I try and put all of the, my passion into these videos. Now, not all of them are going to be like really cool edits and masterpieces. That's not really my style. I don't go for like perfection necessarily. I just try and be authentic and transparent and come off to you guys, as a real person. So, as you can see from the title, the latest game we just beat was Portal 2, and I played it on the PlayStation 3. And you know what? When I've been looking for this game for a while, and when I finally found it, I was debating. I wanted it originally. I wanted it for Xbox 360, and then I was like, you know what? Whichever I find it for, that's the one I'm going to get it for. And I ended up finding it at a good price on PS3, so that's the one I got it for. And I don't have any regrets. One thing that I have like on my notes here that I was thinking about, what am I going to say about Portal 2? And I do have my final score on it. What am I going to say on it, I beat it now, let's see, maybe like 3-4 days ago I beat it, so it's still pretty fresh on the mind, but I have had a few days to actually think about it, which is usually what I like to do when it comes to reviews. I never like to like finish a game and then boom, immediately go right into a review when you're like really high on it or really low on it. Depending on how the game ended, you might feel a certain type of way, so I usually let it settle in a couple days before I give that good review, to be as, transparent as possible, which is the goal of this channel. What I was going to say about the graphics and the visuals is they are amazing. This game looks phenomenal on the PlayStation 3, and I'm sure it looks great on the Xbox 360 as well. But I even mentioned in one of my previous videos, I think, that I was playing Portal 2, and I usually just have I have a fairly cheap monitor that I play on and that I like edit on and stuff like that. I don't have a high quality monitor yet. One day I will. But the other day I was like, you know what, just for giggles, let me go ahead and take my PS3 to the living room where I have a 65-inch HD TV and plug that in, and let's see how this game looks. So I plugged my PS3 in, plugged in Portal 2, and wow, it's astonishing, man. This game, like, you're playing it and I'm like, this is really a PlayStation 3 game. This is a 7th gen game. This literally looks like it could be on a PlayStation 5 or a really high performing PC. Like, it looks amazing. So that is very, very impressive. I am super impressed by that. Now, will I say that there's no frame rate drops throughout the game whatsoever? No, of course there are some, as with a lot of games, even on newer gen consoles, but especially in the 7th gen era. Once there's a lot of stuff flying around, there's a lot of stuff on the screen, there are some things that, there are some frame rate drops, but is it like the end of the world type of thing? Absolutely not. And I'm not even a big person on, oh, the graphics have to be absolutely perfect anyways, so I didn't really care that much. But yeah, what else to say about this game, man? Let me know, before I get any further, if you guys have played Portal 2 or even Portal 1, let me know what your thoughts are on the game and on the franchise. Let me know if you want more Portal. I think a lot of us do. It's been so many years since these games came out, like over a decade at this point, which is crazy. So yeah, more Portal will be awesome. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the game if you've played it. If you haven't played it, let me know if this video makes you want to play it a little bit more. If you haven't, definitely check it out, man. Whatever, I don't even care what system you get it on. Just figure out a way to play the game. It's absolutely amazing. It's some people's like favorite game. So think about that. If there's a game that there's a larger majority of people that it's like their favorite game or top 3 games ever, that's probably inclination that you should try that game. At least try it. Give it a try. Now, if it's not for you, it's not for you. And I'm not saying that this game is for everyone, because it's probably not. Because it is a puzzle game. Now, if you have been sleeping under a rock for the past 15 years and you have no idea what Portal is, there is a story that goes along with it, and you're playing chapters, right? Like a normal narrative-based game, right? There's a story that goes along with it. You are a human, and there's this robot, like, basically leading you through these levels, and you are, I don't want to give away too much for those that haven't played it, but you are trying to figure out how to get to certain destinations, and it'll give you you'll be in a new area, a new location, a new room for every chapter, and basically you have to figure out a way through your portals to move stuff around, to launch yourself certain places, and whatever it may be, grab certain items that need to be placed in certain areas. I'm trying to be super vague here, um, and figure out a way to get to the destination, to get past that room, and then you go into the next room, right? It's fairly simple, and by the, I'll have some gameplay up as well while I'm sharing this, so you guys will kind of get the gist of what I'm talking about, I think, through that gameplay. But anyways, I do want to say that it does have a decent narrative. Now, for a puzzle-based game, a lot of these games, a lot of puzzle-based games, they don't have anything that really sticks when it comes to narrative-wise. This game actually does have a pretty decent narrative and like a pretty crazy conclusion. If you played it, you know what I'm talking about. There's actually like a climax to this game and a conclusion that leaves you like, okay, that was interesting. Like, it's gonna get you thinking a little bit, right? And that's another thing to say. So speaking of thinking, you're gonna be thinking the whole entire time you were playing this game. And I'm not really even saying that in a bad way. I'm saying it in a good way, because the way that these levels are designed and each chapter is designed, every new place you go, like as you progress through the story, right, as you get further and progress through these rooms and progress through these chapters, you're unlocking new ways to get through the next phase, to get through the next room, right? It might be different items that are introduced, different enemies that are introduced. It might be different ways to use your portals, right? Different little tricks and things like that you're going to learn. And they really get you thinking. Now, it starts off pretty easy and then slowly gets harder, and then some of the levels, man, they are very challenging. And some of them, I'm not gonna lie, I had to look up a couple things. I had to look up to get me through a few levels. I was just getting pissed off. I'm just a human, guys. I'm not an AI. I can't just figure these things out right away. I'm not even that good at puzzles to begin with. But I was able to get through the majority, 95% of this game without looking up any tutorials or walkthroughs, which is pretty dang good, I think, especially for a guy like me. So if you do end up looking up some stuff when you're playing this game, don't feel too bad on yourself. Don't give yourself too hard of a time, because it is a difficult game. There are some very challenging levels, so keep that in mind. But yeah, it will make you, you're going to be thinking, and you're going to be challenging yourself the whole time you're playing this story, going through this narrative. And the way the level design is, like, whenever you accomplish it, especially if it's like a harder level, you finally get past it, you finally figure out, oh, that's what I have to do, that's what gets me over to this area and finally gets me past this room. You're going to feel really accomplished, you're going to feel super achieving, and it's going to make you feel good, right? And that is what good video games do. They make you feel good. So that is also something to keep in mind when it is challenging. Just think, man, once I finally figure this out, it's going to feel very good. I'm going to feel accomplished, I'm going to feel satisfied. It's going to leave you like that. So I think that is a amazing thing about this game, and something that the developers did extremely well when making this game, is to make it challenging, but not too challenging to where you're just pissed off and you never want to play it again, because you're also intrigued by the story, so you want to keep going, you want to figure things out, and then when you finally do, man, you feel amazing, you feel great. It's just like accomplishing anything in life. Like, you have a goal you set, you accomplish it, and you're like, yeah, heck yeah, I did that. That is how this game makes you feel, which I think is pretty amazing. Another thing I've written down is the writing and storytelling in this game. There are some funny moments. It is a pretty comedic game, which I really like. When it's a human and then the robots talking and stuff like that. Now, of course, there's some cheesy moments. Of course, there is. Like, there's a little robot and he's talking to you. He's gonna make some jokes, whatever, or some things you're just gonna be like, okay, well, that was supposed to be funny, whatever. But sometimes it is actually funny. Like, it gets you laughing. Like, certain things that happen, certain moments that happen. I'm not saying you're gonna be dying laughing the whole time, but it is pretty funny, which, that lightens the mood when you're going through like a really challenging level. And sometimes even when you're going in the middle of a level, you'll hear the robot talk, and it'll not give you advice, but he may say something, and it just lightens the mood a little bit, which I think is a cool way that another cool way that they did the level design in this game. So I thought that was pretty awesome, man. Going into this game, I did play it like once, maybe when I was in like middle school or closer to when the game came out. I did play it like at a friend's house once or twice, maybe. Vaguely remember the game. I remember it being cool, and I remember it being difficult. And I remember like me and my friend trying to figure out certain levels, but I didn't remember any of the story, even what the levels looked like. I just remember like, okay, there's portals you're going through. I remember you could do like an infinity portal where like you can have one on the ceiling, one on the ground, and you'll just keep going, just keep flying down. It's just continuous, right? It's like Inception almost. Yeah, so that I remembered a little bit of it, but I almost didn't really know what I was getting myself into when I started this game. But I am so happy now that I finished it and completed it that I played it and I knocked another incredible game off my backlog because it's been on there for a while. I've been wanting to play Portal 2 because I know it's one of those like all-time games that, especially for this generation, that I need to play. And you should play it if you haven't. So let me know what you guys think of the game. Let me know if you guys like this little review, if you like this style of video. We really appreciate any response, any feedback you could give me down in the comments. We'd really appreciate it. Like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. We'd really appreciate that. We're aiming for 1,000 subscribers, and we are getting pretty dang close, man. We're growing like at a pretty good rate. So really appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. I couldn't even ask for like a better audience to be making these videos for, and I'm really enjoying making them. So yeah, stay tuned for more. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.